We are now on the record. Today's date is March 9th, 2022, and the time is 9:17 a.m. This is the beginning of the video deposition of Steve Young, taken in the matter of Windsor Lakes Homeowners Association, Inc. versus Mercedes Homes, LLC, et al., to be heard in the Circuit Court of the 18th Judicial Circuit in and for Seminole County, Florida, case number 2016-CA-002371. This deposition is taking place at 622 East Washington Street, Orlando, Florida, 32801. The court reporter is Tara Slocum. The videographer is Doug Fry. The attorney appearances will be reflected on the written transcript. Would the court reporter please swear in our witness?
If you would raise your right hand, sir. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this deposition shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Can you state your name for the record, sir?
Stephen Young?
Have you ever given a deposition before, sir?
Yes.
About how many times?
A couple of times.
Okay. Did you also serve as the license holder that was pulling permits on behalf of D.R. Horton in order for D.R. Horton to proceed with the construction of all the townhomes that it built within the Windsor Lakes community?
Yes, I would have.
So even for the buildings where you weren't personally serving as a superintendent, you would have been the license holder that was applying for and pulling the permits for the construction of each of those buildings?
Correct.
Tell me, what professional licenses do you hold in the state of Florida?
Building contractor's license.
Is that a certified building contractor's license?
Yes, CBC.
And what's your license number?
CBC 125-2212.
And how long have you held that certified building contractor's license?
Somewhere around 2001, 2003,
Okay.
somewhere in there.
Would there have been a time when you were pulling permits for the Windsor Lakes project where you were also pulling permits on the east coast of Florida for, I think, like the Melbourne division?
Possibly.
Do you know how many projects your license was being used to pull permits for during the time frame that Windsor Lakes was being constructed?
For our division, all of them.
And when you say our division, what do you mean by that?
The Central Florida division.
Does the Central Florida division of D.R. Horton, Inc. cover a certain geographic area?
Yes, it varies.
During the time frame that Windsor Lakes was being constructed, can you describe for me what would have fallen under the geographic area of the Central Florida division?
I couldn't give you a complete, accurate list, but I know it would encompass Orange, Seminole, Osceola. Let's see. I think that's Brevard. I don't know if we were in Polk County at the time. May have been. Lake County.
Your document will mark as Exhibit 46. Would you agree that Exhibit 46 is a copy of a building permit application that you signed in order for D.R. Horton to pull a permit to build one of the townhomes within the Windsor Lakes community?
Yes.
And if we look at the second page of Exhibit 46, that's your signature where it says in the right-hand column, signature of contractor / agent?
Yes.
And what date did you sign that?
Looks like 10/14/2010.
And so would this mean that at least by 2010, D.R. Horton had started doing work within the Windsor Lake Townhome community?
Well, the application says 11/128, so that may mean 2011.
Now, would you have signed a permit application like this one for each of the separate townhomes that were constructed by D.R. Horton within the Windsor Lake community?
Yes.
Do you see on the second page of Exhibit 46 at the top where there's a sentence that starts with the word application?
Yes.
Okay. And do you see where it says in Exhibit 46 that you signed for the permit application at the top of the page where it says, application is hereby made to obtain a permit to do the work and installation as indicated. I certify that no work or installation has commenced prior to the issuance of a permit and that all work will be performed to meet the standards of all laws regulating construction in this jurisdiction?
Yes.
Would you have made that certification for all of the townhomes that were built by D.R. Horton within the Windsor Lake community in order to obtain a permit?
That is correct.
Would it be fair to say that the Florida Building Code is a law regulating construction in the jurisdiction where the Windsor Lakes townhomes were constructed?
Check to the form.
I'm sorry, would you repeat?
Sure. Would it be fair to say that the Florida Building Code is a law regulating construction within the jurisdiction where the Windsor Lakes townhomes were constructed?
Check to the
Yes.
form.
So it's fair to say then that by signing this permit application, you certified to the city of Stanford that all of the townhomes that were built by D.R. Horton within the Windsor Lake community would be built to the standards of the Florida Building Code?
Check to the form.
Yes.
Are you familiar with the fact that Chapter 49 is the statute under which the legislature has authorized licenses like yours to exist?
Yes, I see that.
So I want to look here at this section that we've got here from Chapter 49. It's Section 489.105 definitions. And I want to go down to the definition at Section 5 for secondary qualifying agent.
Okay.
This would be the definition that describes your role as a secondary qualifying agent on behalf of D.R. Horton, who pulled permits at projects like Windsor Lakes, would it not?
Check to the form.
Yes, it would.
Do you see here at Section 5 of Chapter 489.105, where we have the definition of secondary qualifying agent, and it defines a secondary qualifying agent as means a person who possesses the requisite skill, knowledge, and experience and has the responsibility to supervise, direct, manage, and control construction activities on a job for which he or she has obtained a permit and whose technical and personal qualifications have been determined by investigation and examination as provided in this part as attested by the department.
I see that, yes.
So I want to focus here on this middle phrase where it says that the secondary qualifying agent has the responsibility to supervise, direct, manage, and control the construction activities on a job for which he or she has obtained a permit. You see that section?
I see that sentence.
Okay. So, would you agree then that your role as a secondary qualifying agent whose license was used to pull permits to construct all the townhomes at the Windsor Lake townhome community that were built by D.R. Horton, that under Chapter 49, you then had the responsibility to supervise, direct, manage, and control the construction activities on that job?
Object to the form.
Yes, I see that.
And you'd agree with that characterization?
Yes.
I just want to clarify for the record that you had several hats that you were wearing with respect to the construction of Windsor Lakes, as you've done for many other projects, right? We talked a little bit about, I think, yesterday how you served in one role wearing the hat of the superintendent from, I think we clarified yesterday by looking at the emails that it was sometime between June and July of 2012 where you took over the role of the superintendent on Windsor Lakes and wore that hat, right?
Yes.
Okay. Then in addition to your role as a superintendent, you also had the overall supervisory responsibility for the project as the license holder that was pulling the building permits for all of the buildings that were built by D.R. Horton at the project?
Yes, that would be accurate.
And so even for the buildings where you weren't serving as a superintendent, you still had the ultimate responsibility as the license holder to ensure that the work complied with code?
Object to the form.
Yes.